What would happen if a supervolcano erupted right now? It has happened before, and the clues are buried deep beneath one of the most densely populated countries on Earth. We're going to Japan to uncover the story of a cataclysm that reshaped a nation and could happen again. This is the story of the Aira Caldera, Japan, a land of serene temples, bustling cities, culture, and breathtaking natural beauty. But this beauty was forged in violence. The Japanese archipelago is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, a chain of volcanoes and seismic activity stretching around the ocean. More than 100 active volcanoes dot this landscape, a constant simmering reminder of the immense power churning just beneath the surface. For millennia, the people of Japan have lived in the shadow of these fire mountains, respecting their power, fearing their wrath, and drawing life from their fertile slopes. But one of these mountains hides a secret, far more terrifying than the rest. It isn't a mountain at all. It's a massive, water-filled crater, a caldera, lurking beneath the calm waters of Kagoshima Bay. This is Aira, and its last major eruption was an event of unimaginable scale. So, what awakens such a beast? Deep beneath the earth, vast chambers of magma, molten rock, are slowly and relentlessly filling up. Think of it like a soda bottle being shaken. Pressure builds and builds and builds. Tectonic plates, the colossal jigsaw pieces that make up our planet's crust, are constantly in motion. Here, the Philippine Sea Plate is diving beneath the Eurasian Plate. This process, called subduction, melts rock, generating massive quantities of magma that need to go somewhere. For thousands of years, the Aira magma chamber swelled, pushing the ground above it upwards, straining the rock to its breaking point. The earth groaned with earthquakes, precursors to the coming disaster. Then, the trigger was pulled. The rock could no longer contain the pressure. A crack appeared, and the gates of hell swung open. 30,000 years ago, the sky over southern Japan tore apart. A column of ash, gas, and superheated rock blasted miles into the atmosphere. So high, it punched into the stratosphere. It was a plume of destruction that blocked out the sun, turning day into an apocalyptic twilight. Eyewitnesses, our distant ancestors, would have seen a terrifying expanding cloud, a pyroclastic flow, racing across the landscape at hundreds of miles per hour. This wasn't like a gentle snowfall of ash. This was a superheated, toxic avalanche of gas and debris, incinerating everything in its path. The sound would have been deafening, a continuous, world-shattering roar that could be heard hundreds of miles away. The sky didn't just turn dark, it turned to fire and ash. The air became unbreathable, choked with sulfur and fine particles of glass. For those living nearby, there was no escape. The world they knew was ending. As the eruption column collapsed under its own immense weight, it sent pyroclastic flows surging across the land and even over the sea. These flows were so massive they traveled over 60 miles, burying the entire landscape of southern Kyushu under a thick blanket of ash and pumice. This deposit, known as the Shirasu Plateau, is hundreds of feet thick in some places. Entire ecosystems, forests, rivers, and any early human settlements were instantly entombed. Imagine your entire city, every building, every street, every park, buried under 100 feet of hot volcanic rock. That's the scale we're talking about. The geological record tells a stark story. Before the eruption, the area was a beautiful and diverse ecosystem. After a sterile, lifeless desert of volcanic debris, it was a complete and total reset of the environment, a burial of a world. The very shape of Japan was changed forever. The eruption's impact didn't stop at the coastline. The sheer volume of sulfur dioxide and ash injected into the stratosphere created a global catastrophe. This volcanic aerosol veil spread around the world, reflecting sunlight back into space. The result was a volcanic winter. Global temperatures plummeted. For years, summers failed, crops withered on the vine, and ecosystems worldwide were thrown into chaos. It triggered a period of intense climate change, causing widespread famine and hardship for prehistoric populations far from the eruption itself. This single event in southern Japan had consequences for the entire planet, a stark reminder of how interconnected our world is. The Aira eruption wasn't just a local disaster, it was a global crisis, one of the most significant climate-altering events of the last 100,000 years. But the story doesn't end with destruction. From the ashes of the old world, a new one was born. As the vast magma chamber beneath Aira emptied, the roof above it collapsed, creating the massive depression we now see as Kagoshima Bay. And within this new caldera, the volcanic activity continued. About 29,000 years ago, new eruptions began to build a cone from the caldera floor. This cone grew and grew, breaking the surface of the water, creating a new island volcano. Today, we know it as Sakurajima. It's one of the most active volcanoes in the world, a constant plume of smoke rising from its summit. It's a living, breathing testament to the power that still lies dormant beneath the bay. Sakurajima isn't just a separate volcano, it's the restless child of the Aira supervolcano, a visible symptom of the immense magma system still churning below. So why, with all this knowledge, do millions of people live on the edge of this sleeping giant? Because we are watching scientists from around the world monitor the Aira Caldera with an incredible array of instruments. GPS stations measure the ground swelling and deflating, minute by minute, indicating magma moving beneath the surface. Seismometers listen for the faint tremors that signal rock fracturing. Gas sensors analyze the volcanic fumes for changes that could herald an upcoming eruption. They study the past to understand the future, mapping the ancient pyroclastic flow deposits to predict where future flows might go. The city of Kagoshima, with over 500,000 residents, sits directly across the bay, living in a permanent state of readiness. They have evacuation drills, hardened shelters, and an awareness of the volcano that is part of their daily life. They know the risk, but they also have faith in the science that keeps them safe. Monitoring Aira isn't just an academic exercise, it's a vital defense for millions of lives. The story of the Aira Caldera is a powerful lesson. It's a story of immense destruction, but also of incredible resilience and rebirth. It reminds us that our planet is a dynamic, powerful, and sometimes violent place. While a supereruption on the scale of the ancient Aira event is rare, the threat is real. But by studying these past cataclysms, we arm ourselves with knowledge, the most powerful tool we have to protect our future. The ever-present plume of Sakurajima isn't just a warning, it's a promise that the Earth is alive, and it's our job to listen to what it has to say. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of a supervolcano. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the wonders and dangers of our world. See you next time.